What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, Team Crawford, who is now 3-division world champion, undisputed in 2 separate weight classes, undisputed at junior welterweight, undisputed at welterweight, became the first male to become undisputed in 2 separate weight classes, to hold all 4 major sanction belt and the Ring magazine and linealship. He's undefeated. He's now 40 wins, no losses, no draw, 31 big wins by way of knockout. He is 35 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. He's only went the distance 3 times since becoming a world champion in 2014. Terence Crawford is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. That's undoubtedly. He just dominated a man that would seem to be a fighter that was not going to be dominated. And that's against former unified 3-belt welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, Errol the Truth Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. is now 28 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 22 wins by way of knockout. He is, Errol Spence is 33 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. Errol Spence got dominated in a fashion that nobody expected. And leading up into this fight, we had Terence Crawford, who was unofficially knocked down in this fight with Igor Kavalauskas. We saw Terence Crawford hurt, wobbled, and staggered by Yuriorkis Gamboa. We saw Terence Crawford hurt by Showtime Sean Porter. We saw Terence Crawford hurt in a multiple different fights. He was unofficially knocked down by Kavalauskas. And because of that, everybody felt, because Terence Crawford started his career at 130, became a champion 135, 140, and 147, smaller weight classes. Errol Spence started his career at 154, went down and campaigned at 147. So Errol Spence is seen to be the biggest, strong guy, natural southpaw, physically strong, has broken or dismembered many fighters. 5 in particular: Chris Algieri nearly broke his orbital bone. Kell Brook, he broke his orbital bone, picking up his world title. Lamont Peterson shut his eyes, nearly broke his orbital bone. Yordenis Ugas, he broke his orbital bone, ribs, nose, en route to any unification bout. And Danny Garcia, 2-division world champion, Puerto Rican superstar boxer, he nearly broke his orbital bone and shut Danny Garcia's eye, right? The eye collector is what Terence Crawford was up against. And Terence Crawford was seen to be, the lesser of the stronger fighters, right? That, Errol Spence was bigger, stronger, fundamentally sound. Terence Crawford made mistakes, as I thought. Terence Crawford made many mistakes leading up into this. I thought Errol Spence was more defensively responsible. Errol Spence was more disciplined as far as not getting out his game plan in the fight and just wanting to fight. Terence Crawford stayed cool, calm, and collective the entire fight. I thought the versatility of Terence Crawford, switching from southpaw to orthodox, would give Errol Spence problems. Terence Crawford never switched. He stayed southpaw the entire fight. And you can see my build-up for this fight. I asked Terence Crawford and I asked Errol Spence about the southpaw stance. And Terence Crawford stayed southpaw the entire time, never switched to orthodox. Not one time. He stayed southpaw the entire time. Didn't need his versatility. Didn't need tricks and the trade. His game plan was very simple. Counter Errol Spence. Don't waste energy. Give him different looks. Just move head movement. Counter his jab. Counter every time he jab, you jab. Stick the jab in his face. Now he does have the advantage because he's a natural orthodox, natural right-handed guy. So his jab out the southpaw stance is not a jab. It's a power jab because it's actually his lead hand, his power hand. So when he jabs you with his right hand, it's actually a straight right hand. Right? He's just not bringing it back from as far back as he is from the stands because it's his lead hand, so he's just popping you with it, but it's heavy because actually his strongest hand, right? And so because of that, Errol Spence couldn't deal with that. He reversed the roles on Errol Spence, and now his team is saying, as you see, so icy, Steve Nelson, who is a super middleweight title contender, undefeated. He said, Errol said that it was going to be a one-sided beatdown. It was. It was just us doing the beating. And he's 1,000% correct. Errol Spence said it was going to be one-sided domination. He was going to dominate Terence Crawford, one-sided. It was anything but that. The roles got reversed. He got dominated one-sided. The domination came on the part of Terence Crawford. And Terence Crawford is being discredited because of all these reports that Errol Spence had already had neural issues, brain issues, and he couldn't respond. We got to give Terence Crawford his credit. We got to give Terence Crawford his flowers. And we got to acknowledge that Terence Crawford is great. Period. So with that said, they stand. Okay, we're going to rematch him. Look like rematch going to be in December at 154. We caught the big fish. Steve Nelson made the uniform for Terence Crawford, the big net, because Errol Spence said, I'm the big fish. And everything was, Terence Crawford didn't fight nobody. He didn't fight nobody. He didn't beat nobody. He didn't do nothing. I told you guys, I think Errol Spence fought the more popular fighters. Errol Spence overall fought the better fighters. But that's not to discredit Terence Crawford's resume, because Terence Crawford fought great fighters. They're just not as popular as the fighters Errol Spence fought, and they may not be as good as the fighters Errol Spence fought. But that's not to say Terence Crawford didn't fight good fighters, because he fought Victor Postol. Victor Postol was considered the boogeyman in the 140 junior welterweight division, and Danny Garcia was avoiding him. Lamont Peterson was avoiding him. He had knocked out Lucas Matisse. He was seen to be the boogeyman. Terence Crawford was getting ready to avoid him. Terence Crawford ended up fighting him in unification and dropping him twice and dominating him. Easy. It wasn't even close. But he was the boogeyman. So there's guys like that on Terence Crawford's resume that don't get the high praise because they're not as popular. Sean Porter is popular. Danny Garcia is popular. Mikey Garcia is popular. These guys have bigger names than Hank Lundy and Victor Postol and Hank Lundy, Victor Postol and Igis Kavalaskis and those types of fighters. They have bigger names than those fighters. And because they have bigger names than those fighters, right, they get more praise for beating those fighters. And no doubt, Kell Brook, I think Kell Brook is better than, Victor Postol, right? I definitely think that. I think Kell Brook is better than Victor Postol. I think that, Igis Kavalaskis is not as good as, Sean Porter. They're bigger names. But at the end of the day, Terence Crawford has fought and beat great opposition. They're just not as great as namesake-wise as the fighters that Errol Spence has fought and beat. That's what it boils down to. So Team Crawford said, we caught the fish once, we're going to catch him again. They said it's going to be a one-sided beatdown. It was a one-sided beatdown. It was just us doing the beating down. And they said, we've been the underdogs all this time. And we still proved the opposition wrong. But we've been the underdogs this entire time. And now we're going to do it once again on the biggest stage again. Like I told people, I think Terence Crawford is going to be even better at 154. Just like Errol Spence will be a better version of himself at 154. Well, guess what? Terence Crawford is going to be a better version of himself at 154. It's going to come down to the skill set. Ultimately, the skill set, the athletic ability, and the twitchiness. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. It looks like December is going to be the date. So let's see. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. I'm gone. Peace.